Now, let's look at types of triangles. The first triangle that we are going to look at is the scalene. A scalene is a triangle where all sides are not equal. And if all sides are not equal, it means that all angles are also not equal. Remember yesterday, to show that the angles are equal, I'm going to use this or that or that. So since there and there and there, we've got 1 there, 2 there, 3 there. So it shows that these angles are not equal. I've got this side is not equals to that side, is not equals to that side. That is why I also used that and that to show that sides are not equal. If they were equal, I was going to use that, there and there, or I was going to use that, there. I was going to use the same thing. If they were equal. Now a scalene is a triangle where all sides are not equal and where all angles are not equal. Now we are also going to look at isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle is a triangle where opposite sides of a triangle are equal. If opposite sides of this triangle are equal, then it means that opposite angles or base angles of these triangles are equal. These angles are equal because they are opposite equal side. This angle is opposite this side, this angle is opposite that side. Therefore, it means that this angle is equals to this angle since they are opposite equal sides. There is an isosceles triangle. Now, we are also going to go to the triangle which is equilateral triangle. An equilateral triangle, all sides are equal in an equilateral triangle, where I can have this side to be equals to that side, which is equals to that side. So since sides are equal, it means that also your angles will be equal. It means that your angles will be equal. And these angles are equal, and they are equals to 60 degrees. And we know from yesterday that the sum of angles on a triangle must be 180 degrees. Therefore, 60 plus 60 plus 60, it gives us 180 degrees. Now, an equilateral triangle, all sides are equal, all angles are equal, and angles are equals to 60 degrees. Now, we want to also look at an acute angled triangle. This is an acute angled triangle. Now, an acute angled triangle is a triangle where all angles are acute. If I've got x there, y there, and z there. X, y, and z are acute angles. And acute angles, which talked about them, that they are angles which are greater than 0 and they are less than 90. An acute angle triangle is a triangle where all three angles are less than 90. Now we also have an obtuse angled triangle. An obtuse angled triangle is a triangle where one interior angle is greater than 90 degrees. Where this angle is the angle which is greater than 90 degrees. Then obviously in a obtuse angle triangle, one interior angle is greater than 90 degrees. Now, we also want to talk about the right-angled triangle. The right-angled triangle, one interior angle is 90 degrees, or it's a right angle. And we know if we've got two perpendicular lines, then we have a right angle. And a right angle is equals to 90 degrees. Therefore, it means one interior angle must be 90 degrees. Therefore, these are the types of triangles that we are going to be looking at. Now, I just want to remind you of the two main properties of interior angles of a triangle. F of good x, y, and z. The first property, it tells us that the sum of interior angles of a triangle are supplementary. Therefore, angle x plus angle y plus angle z is equals to 180 degrees. This is the first property which tells us that the sum of interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees, meaning that they are supplementary, the interior angles of a triangle. By supplementary, we mean that they add up to 180 degrees. Now, another property of that I should remind you about, if we've got there x, y, and z. Now, this property of interior angles of a triangle, it tells us that exterior angle of a triangle, which is angle z, is equals to the sum of the opposite interior angle. So these angles are interior is equals to the sum of the opposite interior angle. Therefore, we're going to have angle x plus angle y. Exterior angle of a triangle is equals to the sum, which is we're adding, is equals to the sum of the opposite interior angles. Now, these properties are very, very important, since part 1 of Euclidean geometry that we've started with is going to help us to solve many riders in geometry. Because when we are now going to start with theorems together with part 1 is going to help us to make sure that we solve geometric riders. Now, let's do an example. We are told that BCD is an isosceles triangle. And if BCD is an isosceles triangle, it means that BC is equals to BD. Now, we are told to find the value of x, y, and z. And most times, if we are told to find the value of x, y, and z, we must start with x, then go to y and z. But however you prefer, you can start wherever you want. It's not a problem. But I want to follow the x, y, and z. Now, this is how we start with this. For us to find the value of x, we're going to first say B angle C D is equals to B angle D C. Why are we saying that? It is because base angles of isosceles triangle BCD. Base angles of an isosceles triangle are equal since they are opposite equal lengths. Since they are opposite equal lengths, these angles, it means that they are equal. Now, B angle CD is x, angle x. B angle DC is angle z. Therefore, angle x is equals to angle z. Now, we know that A angle B D is equals to B angle C D plus B angle D C. This just means that A angle B D, which is this angle there, is equals to B angle C D is equals to this angle plus that angle. Therefore, we know exterior angle of a triangle is equals to the sum of the opposite interior angle, the sum of these two. Therefore, we have A angle BD, which is 1, 1, not, but we must not forget to give the reason that exterior angle of triangle BCD is equals to the sum of opposite interior angles. Exterior angle of a triangle is equals to the sum of opposite interior angles. You can write it like this, it's not a problem. Therefore, we can substitute 110, which is B angle D, A angle BD, which is equals to our B angle CD is X, angle X, plus our B angle DC is angle Z. Now, since we have said that angle X is equals to angle Z, now we can substitute X where we see Z. Therefore, angle X plus angle X. Since Z is X, we substitute angle X there, which is equals to 110. Now, X plus X is going to be 2 angle X, which is equals to 110 degrees. Divide by 2, divide by 2. We have X is equals to 55 degrees. Now, let's solve for Y. We start by saying A angle B D plus D angle B C, which is equals to 180 degrees. A angle B D, which is this angle, plus D angle B C, which is this angle. This angle plus this angle is equals to 180 degrees. Reason, sum of angles on straight line ABC. Now, A angle BD plus D angle BC is angle Y, which is equals to 180 degrees. We are solving for Y. Angle Y is equals to 180 degrees minus, which is equals to 70 degrees. Therefore, Y is equals to 70 degrees. Now, we can solve. Our Z is equals to X. So no need to even solve that. Therefore, angle X is equals to angle Z, where angle Z is also equals to 55 degrees. Now, let's look at another example. Here we are told that HI is equals to HG. Therefore, HI is equals to HG. We can see by that. Now, we are told to find KLMN. We are told to find KLMN. I always make sure that I go the way they want me to find these angles, where I must first start with K and L and M. Now, let's start. Here I can see that there's an X, and if there's an X, a shape which is an X, I know that this angle is equals to that angle, vertically opposite angles. Now, we start. E, angle G, F is equals to I, angle G, H. Reason, we know that this angle is equals to that angle, means that vertically opposite angles in an X shape. Now, E, angle GF is K, which is equals to I, angle GH, which is equals to 80 degrees. Now, we can find L. We now know that K is 80. We can use the property of interior angles. E, angle F, G plus F, angle E, G plus E, angle G, F is equal to 180 degrees. This means that E, angle F, G, which is this angle, plus F, angle E, G, plus this angle, plus E, angle G, F, which is this angle, is equal to 180 degrees. Reason, sum of angles on triangle EFG. EFG. Now, E angle FG is L plus F angle EG is 45 degrees plus E angle GF. We know that E angle GF is K, therefore we are going to put 80, which is equals to 180 degrees. Now, L plus, we can add these two there, and adding these two there, it gives 125 degrees, which is equals to 180 degrees. Now, our angle L is equals to 180 minus 125 degrees. Now, 180 minus 125 degrees, which is 55 degrees. Now, we got L. Now we can find M. Now, for us to find M, we're just going to say I angle G H is equals to G angle I H. This means that I angle G H, which is this angle, is equals to this angle there, which is G angle IH. This angle is equals to that angle, since this line is equals to that line. Therefore, it means that HGI is an isosceles triangle. Therefore, base angle of an isosceles triangle, base angles of isosceles triangle GHI. Base angles of isosceles triangle are equal. Therefore, I angle GH is 80 degrees, which is equals to G angle IH, G angle IH equals to M. Therefore, M is equals to 80 degrees. Now, for us to find N, since we have this and that, then we can find the sum of the interior angles. Therefore, we can start by saying that I angle G H plus G angle I H plus I angle H G is equals to 180 degrees. Why is it 180 degrees? This plus this plus this. Reason, obviously, sum of angles on triangle GHI. Now, I angle GH is 80 degrees plus G angle IH is another 80 because that's M, 80 degrees plus I angle HG, I angle HG is N, angle N, which is equals to 180 degrees. Now, this plus that, I know it is 160 plus angle N equals to 180 degrees. Therefore, angle N is equals to 180 degrees minus 160 degrees, which we get 20 degrees for N. We've got K, L, M, N in that order. I always maintain the order that they said we should find these angles. Right. This is the last example of part 1. And I just want to remind you that part 1, together with theorems, which we are going to do in part 2, is going to help us to solve geometric riders. Now, this is the example that we are looking at. We are told that JL is parallel to PM. In the previous example, there were no parallel lines. That is why we didn't use fun. That is why we didn't use corresponding angles and alternate angles and cointerior angles. Now, here, since we are told that JL is parallel to PM, and we can see by these arrows there, which shows that this side is parallel to that side. We are told to find A, B, C, D, E. And for us to find A, B, C, D, E, we can go about like that. Now, this angle plus this angle are equals to that angle. Let's start again. This angle is equals to this angle plus that angle, because the property of a interior angles of a triangle is that exterior angle of a triangle is equals to the sum of opposite interior angles. Now, we start. K angle N M is equals to O angle K N plus K angle O N. This means that K angle N M, which is this angle, is equals to O angle K N is equals to this angle plus this angle, which is K angle O N. Now, reason we know exterior angle of triangle NKO is equals to the sum of opposite interior angles. Exterior angle of a triangle NKO is equals to the sum of opposite interior angles. K angle NM is equals to 100 degrees, which is equals to O angle KN 2A plus angle 2A plus K angle ON, which is 3 angle A. Now, 100 is equals to 5 angle A. Now, we divide by 5, we divide by 5. Angle A is equals to 20 degrees. Now, we can find a B because we follow the order of A, B, C, D, E. Now we can find angle B. Since these two sides are parallel, we can use the U shape, which is the U facing down, as you can see. Therefore, it means that L angle KN plus K angle NM is equals to 180 degrees. This means that L angle KN, which is this angle, plus K angle NM, which is this angle plus this angle is equals to 180 degrees. Obviously, our reason, because I'm going to put it here, was going to be co-interior angles. Why are they co-interior angles? Because in a U shape, we're talking about co-interior angles. Now, why are they co-interior angles? It is because of JL is parallel to PN. Now, L angle KN is angle B plus K angle NM is 100 degrees, which is equal to 180 degrees. Now, we can take that one there and solve for B. B is equal to 180 degrees minus 100, which is equals to 80 degrees. Now, we can find C. And for us to find C, I can use the N. There's my N. There. This angle is equals to this angle there. And we do have A. Therefore, we can use our N where we have this angle, which is equals to that angle there. We use it. J angle KO is equals to K angle ON. Reason, interior, alternate angles. Why are they alternating? You can see this angle is equals to that angle and shape. They're alternating. Why are they alternating? Because JL is parallel to PN. Now, J angle KO is angle C, which is equals to K angle ON is 3A. We know our A from here is 20. Therefore, 3 times 20, which is equals to 60 degrees. We could have also used many ways of dealing with that. Now, we can find D. Now, for us to find D, obviously, we can use him. It's not a problem. M, angle N, K, plus O, angle N, K, which is M, angle N, K is this angle, plus O, angle N, K, which is this angle plus this angle is equals to 180 degrees. Therefore, the reason, which is sum of angles on straight line PM. Sum of angles on straight line PM. Now, M angle NK. M angle NK is 100 degrees plus O angle NK is D. O angle NK is D, angle D, which is equal to 180 degrees. Angle D is equal to 180 minus 100 degrees, which is equals to 80 degrees. Now, we can find E. And for us to find E, we can say this plus this in a U shape facing up. Therefore, co-interior angles, this angle and this angle, they add up to 180 degrees. Therefore, we can find this angle. Since we know that this angle is 60, our C is 60, then we can be able to find our E. Now let's find E. And since we have a parallel lines and E and C are in a U shape, are co-interior, this angle plus this angle is equals to 180 degrees. Co-interior angles, because we have a U shape. Now, J angle K O plus K angle O P is equal to 180 degrees. Let's look at that. J angle K O, which is this angle, plus K angle O P, which is this angle, is equal to 180 degrees. Reason, co-interior angles. Co-interior angles. Why are they co-interior angles? In a U shape, we know that these sides are parallel. Therefore, JL is parallel to PM. That's the reason. Now, J angle KO is C. Angle C. Plus K angle OP is E. Angle E. Which is equals to 180 degrees. But we know our C is 60 degrees. Therefore, 60 plus angle E is equals to 180 degrees. Now, I'm just going to remove here. Now, angle E is equals to 180 degrees minus 60 degrees, which is equals to 120 degrees angle E. If we wanted, we could have done that. Angles on a straight line, we could have found E as well. Is there any other way that we could have done it? We could have said this is equals to this plus that as well, because exterior angle of a triangle is equals to the sum of opposite interior angle. Since we know our A and we know D, we can be able to find E using exterior angle equals to the sum of opposite interior angles. Or using angles on a straight line, we could have also found E. However we prefer, we can do that. Thank you.